Chapter 324 The Black Fiend Schoolmaster. The blazing firebird flew over 20 meters into the air and pecked at Qingwen with its huge beak, turning him into a huge, plummeting fireball. When he landed on the ground, he only managed to wretchedly scream twice before turning into a pile of ash without the slightest resistance. As Han Li watched on in complete astonishment, the huge firebird sharply cried out. Turning its head toward the two remaining light cocoons, it fiercely charged toward them. As a result, a huge pillar of fire erupted into the sky from the location of the cocoons. The two nearly transformed blood servants were instantly engulfed in an ocean of fire. The light cocoons were only able to bitterly resist the raging flames for a short moment before completely disappearing. The defenseless blood servants then silently swayed for several steps before completely turning to ash. The blazing flame appeared extraordinary. Its unexpected ferociousness greatly shocked Han Li, leaving him with another memory of a core formation cultivator's magic treasure's might. Apart from Han Li, his fellow cultivators all had expressions of pleasant surprise. That treasure seal was incredibly powerful. We were able to eradicate this evil school all because of Lu Jing. The others excitedly spoke to each other in great excitement. From their point of view, with the blood servants eliminated, all they had left to deal with was the Black Fiend Schoolmaster. As a group of many Foundation establishment cultivators, there was no reason to believe that they wouldn't be able to deal with a lone evil schoolmaster. As Lu Jing saw the firebird's raging flames gradually disappear, he greatly lamented, but after hearing the others' praises, his spirits were raised. We've wasted quite a bit of time. Let's enter and exterminate the Black Fiend Schoolmaster. Lu Jing waved his arm with a mighty, heroic air. The others nodded in agreement and followed after him. Han Li faintly smiled, but as he was about to follow after them, he spotted Senior Marshal Brother Wang blankly staring in some direction with a strange expression. This somewhat surprised Han Li and he couldn't help but follow Wang's gaze. Aside from the white ash of the transformed blood servants and the pitifully arranged remains of Shui Hong, what else could he be looking at? Senior Marshal Brother Wang, did you discover something? Han Li couldn't help but doubtfully ask. No, I didn't discover anything. Junior Marshal Brother Han, you are being overly suspicious. When Senior Marshal Brother Wang heard Han Li's question, he immediately shifted his gaze before answering. When Han Li saw this, how couldn't he tell that something was strange? This person had certainly discovered something important but didn't want to tell the others. Why else would he act like this? Han Li became somewhat depressed, but with a slight smile, he said, since it is nothing, let's quickly descend. Everyone wishes to go in. Pointing in the direction of the cold palace, Han Li wordlessly descended, leaving Senior Marshal Brother Wang to be the last one remaining in the sky. Uncertainty and doubt fluctuating on his face, he eventually stomped his foot and helplessly followed after them. As Han Li landed on the ground, he heard a lovely voice from the sky. Senior Marshal Brother Lu, Junior Marshal Brother Han, wait for us. After a moment of surprise, Han Li slowly turned his head toward the sky. When the others heard this, they stopped and looked in the direction of the voice with happy expressions. Underneath the soft moonlight, Zhang Weiniang and Chen Qiaoqian were slowly descending from the sky with an extremely pale middle-aged man in tow, suspended by his collar on the flying magic tool. The middle-aged man wore golden clothes and had a deathly pale complexion. When he saw Han Li and the others, he appeared to become even more panicked. When Lu Jing saw them, he welcomed them with a slight smile. It seems that you two were able to smoothly succeed. So this is the Emperor of Yue. After the two female cultivators landed, Lu Jing turned his gaze to the middle-aged man and asked without paying much mind. That's right. This guy was in meeting with a few officials in some hall. After Senior Marshal Sister and I knocked out the officials and grabbed the Emperor, two Qi condensation disciples rushed out in an attempt to stop us, but we were able to easily dispatch them. Senior Marshal Brother Lu, it seems you haven't encountered any problems either. That's great. When Zhang Weiniang saw Lu Jing was completely unharmed, she incessantly chattered, expressing unmistakable concern for him. This caused Lu Jing to appear embarrassed, much to the entertainment of Han Li. "Junior Marshal Sister Chen, are you also alright?" Two of Chen Qiaoqian's senior martial brothers asked cordially. With an indifferent expression, Chen Qiaoqian confirmed this and swept her gaze past the group. When she saw Han Li, she stared at him for a moment before turning away with a complicated expression. "Where is Senior Marshal Sister Shui Hong?" Chen Qiaoqian wrinkled her delicate brow and asked with a feeling of foreboding. When those words were asked, everyone's faces sank, revealing a heavy expression. "We lost Shui Hong in the battle." With great difficulty, Senior Marshal Sister Shui Hong's Dao companion said this with a voice full of sorrow. As soon as they heard this, Chen Qiaoqian and Zhang Weinian's expressions instantly became unsightly. Zhang Weinian immediately became furious, saying, "How could you?" However, she was only able to say half of that sentence before she was interrupted by a miserable cry. Han Li and the others were frightened and immediately looked in the direction of the scream with great vigilance. A blue-robed man had appeared near them at an unknown time. They saw his hand flicker with red light as he withdrew it from Senior Marshal Brother Wang's chest. In the following moment, Marshal Brother Wang's lifeless corpse then fell to the ground. "I originally hadn't thought to kill you. However, children really shouldn't take what isn't theirs," the blue-robed man said with a beaming smile. He appeared about 40 years old and had a very fair complexion. With his slight wrinkles at the corner of his eye, he had a rather benevolent appearance. With that said, he bent over and picked up a thumb-sized azure bead from the corpse, causing his smile to grow even larger. After they saw this person, Lu Jing and Han Li's faces sunk at the same time, revealing expressions of extreme caution. "Your esteemed self must be the Black Fiend schoolmaster?" Lu Jing probingly asked with a thoughtful expression. Hee, how smart. I truly am the founder of the Black Fiend school. So, you must be the leader. The old man chuckled. When they all heard that this person was supposed to be the Black Fiend schoolmaster, even Han Li couldn't help but appear shocked. Each of the Yellow Maple Valley cultivators then took out their magic tools as they faced this great enemy. After Lu Jing's expression sunk, he deeply exhaled and suppressed the panic in his heart. Soon after, he stealthily made a careful gesture to the others and coldly asked, "Correct. I am Lu Jing, the leader of this mission. I've come to exterminate your evil Black Fiend school. Even now that you are alone, you still dare to violently kill. You are truly courageous." Lu Jing said this awe-inspiring, righteous speech in a fearless display. Although he was very satisfied with his own performance, he became even more imposing as he continued. So long as he eliminated this evil school's master, his name would reach even greater heights among the 7 sects. In turn, others would look upon him with even greater reverence and admiration. With that thought, Lu Jing's mind gradually became drunk with fervor, and he took out 2 silver hooks along with a ring. Without waiting for the opposition to act, the Black Fiend schoolmaster suddenly flashed a strange smile to him and softly whispered to Lu Jing in a voice only he could hear, "Then you can die." At that moment, Lu Jing felt a pain from the center of his chest. Without knowing what had happened, a blood-drenched arm had already pierced through his chest, revealing a round squirming object in its hand. "What is this?" Lu Jing couldn't help but think this in amazement. Perhaps he truly understood what happened, but he was unwilling to believe it. Soon after, he felt the world spin around him and his vision turned black. He could still hear several shrieks in the morning cries from his unrequited admirer, Zhang Weinian. However, those sounds became increasingly unfamiliar and distant as time passed. Sigh, this young girl really loves to cry. Lu Jing had one last, anguished thought before sinking into eternal darkness. Han Li's expression became very unsightly. Before the battle even started, the enemy had already killed 2 mid-foundation establishment cultivators. Even Lu Jing, the leader of the group, had actually died so easily. With hands stabbed through the corpses of Lu Jing and Senior Marshal Brother Wang, Lu Jing's attacker flashed toward the Black Fiend schoolmaster's side and flashed an evil grin toward them. This had happened so fast that Han Li had been unable to react. After Lu Jing died, Zhang Weinian was thoroughly stunned and was only able to release heart-wrenching screams. When Chen Qiaoqian saw this, she hastily pulled Zhang Weinian behind her in an attempt to protect her. She then looked at the attacker with a face filled with fury and remorse.